Queens Theater at Home. Please consider making a tax-deductible donation at queenstheater.org. Queens Storytellers Online, Theater for All Edition, featuring Sandre, Kellie McCoy, Rachael Abbott, Michelle Mantione, and Shashank Sharma. Captions are available using the video player controls. Queens Storytellers Online. Sandre.
Hello, everyone. My name is Sandre. I identify as she, her, hers. I am in Birmingham, Alabama. I'm wearing a black maxi dress with a pink t-shirt underneath. My hair is cut in a short pixie cut. It is black as well. And I'm wearing black dangle earrings. I'm blind and I wear filters to protect my eyes from the light because I'm pretty light sensitive. And I want to tell you today of an experience that I have with one of my drivers. I'm pretty independent, and I spent a lot of sweat and tears gaining that independence after I lost my sight, because I went to a training center, a residential training center for 11 months where the training is pretty rigorous. So every chance I get to use that independency, I'm going to use it. So, and obviously I don't drive a vehicle, that is, but my son says that I have this uncanny ability to drive him crazy. So that's about all the driving that I do. But it's pretty hard to find drivers for blind people, at least for me it is. But I do have about 4 people that I can depend on when I really need to go somewhere. But it's one particular driver that I'm pretty fond of, but we just can't seem to get the rhythm together. I call her Miss Overly Helpful. Miss Overly Helpful, because that's exactly what she is. And that's exactly what she does. The whole trip is her being overly helpful, mispronouncing my name, and me saying, I got it. So imagine this for about 2 hours. My name is Sandre, 2 syllables, Sandre. She calls me Miss Shandrea. And she insists on saying it twice, once at the beginning of the sentence and once at the end. Miss Shandrea, so-and-so and so, Miss Shandrea, Miss Shandrea, so-and-so and so, Miss Shandrea. So I've gotten used to it now. It's still irritating, but I've gotten used to it. And she handles me like an arresting officer. Even though I say I got it, she still jerks my arm and pulls me or pushes me or push. I mean, the whole trip is an assault on my body. So this one day I needed to go somewhere and I called everyone to see if they could take me. Nobody could take me, but she calls me on the day that I needed to go and tells me she can take me after all. She says, I'll be there in 15 minutes. I'm not prepared to go, but I need to go. So I get ready all of a sudden, grab everything off my lateral file, which also serves as my bed because it has my laundry, some snacks, my mail, everything on the other side of my bed that I don't sleep on. So I'm grabbing everything, throwing it back in my backpack to get ready to go, my wallet, my keys, my hand sanitizer, mask, my taser, an extra mask. I mean, just throwing everything back in because I want to meet her on the porch to just help with time. I want to meet her on my porch. So I get outside and I hear the engine coming. I'm like, yes, I'm on time. This is going to be great. She pulls up. I'm locking the door. She blows the horn, scares the crap out of me. I drop the keys. Why are you blowing the horn? You see me. Why are you blowing the horn? It's me, Miss Shandrea. It's me, Miss Shandrea. Okay, I know it's you. Now I've dropped the keys. I got to find the keys. I'm coming, Miss Shandrea. I'm coming to help you. I got it. It's okay. I'm coming. I hear footsteps. Oh my God, the assault begins early. Here she comes. She gets the keys, but she grabs me by my right arm. Ow. I know, Miss Sandre. It's hard bending over, ain't it? No, you got me by my vaccine arm. Oh, let me get the onion. She grabs me. Off we go. She's got the keys. She locks the door. I'm in pain now. off down the sidewalk we go. Step up, Miss Sandre. Step down, Miss Sandre. To the right, Miss Sandre. To the left, Miss Sandre. The door is open, Miss Sandre. I got the door, Miss Sandre. Watch your head, Miss Sandre. Oh my God, it's early, but what do? I need to go. So she pushes me down. Watch your head, Miss Sandre. She pushes me down in the car. Off we go. The whole trip, I'm thinking, Lord, help me. We get to the post office. And I can tell when she pulls in where she's parking, whether she's parking on the side or whether she's parking in the front. She parks on the side. So I'm going to get ready because I'm going to beat her out the car and up the sidewalk before she can get out and around the car to grab me. This is what I'm thinking anyway. So she parks, turns the car off. I open the door, stick my cane out, stick my leg out to block her so she can't grab me when she gets around. I'm on top of it. Yes, I'm winning. She gets out of the car. Miss Sandre, put your mask on, Miss Sandre. Dang, nervous. Okay, so unzip my backpack, put my hand in, trying to find my mask. She's around. She grabs my wrist because I'm leaning backwards in the car so she can't grab me. She grabs my wrist. She's pulling me out. Okay, let me get my mask. Okay, Miss Sandre, but she's still pulling me. I'm trying to get my mask. Finally, I get out and I'm trying to steady. I got my cane. Oh, Lord, she's pulling me up the side. Step up, Miss Sandre. I'm still trying to get my mask, on. Finally, I find the mask and I get it, get the strap, trying to put it on. I hear people. I want to get my mask on before I get near the people. Get my mask on. It just doesn't feel right, you know? Just something just don't feel right. Finally, I get it on. Don't feel right because I got a yellow thong on my face. She didn't even notice. A yellow thong. Thank you.
Queens Storytellers Online. Kellie McCoy.
I'm Kellie McCoy. I'm wearing a black shirt and a black headband. I have white skin and lots of freckles and red hair. I am sitting in front of what could be described as like a theatrical mirror with like all the lights around it. And I have like a makeup set up like I'm getting ready for a show. And thank you. Running late again. They always stop me on this street. I know it always happens to disabled people. Probably non-disabled people too. Just hate that it happens in public. It usually happens at the gym. Like I'm just working out and this guy approaches me. Does the thing. I don't know why. One time, this guy actually approached me with my boyfriend in front of this whole gym. Does the thing. But he actually got down on one knee in front of this crowded gym on Sunset Boulevard in Los Angeles. So the whole gym's watching. My boyfriend calls him out on it. Says, "You're embarrassing her." He didn't even believe it. He stopped and looked at me as if like my body language of an embarrassed red face and tightness, awkwardness that you get into when you feel uncomfortable wasn't enough of a read for this guy to see that maybe he shouldn't be doing this. We told him to go ahead and just do it at home later. One time I'd had this really great day in San Diego. I'd gone like on a really great audition. We went on this fun trip. We were hanging out in this museum district afterwards. And I was with my service dog, Nola. She's a Great Dane, so she draws attention, which I'm used to. But, you know, I think everyone should understand that about the whole don't touch a service dog by now. Anyway, so the guy bothers my dog. And then he comes up to me trying to do the thing. And, you know, you can say whatever you want to me, but I get defensive about my dog. Like, She's like my baby. And also there are rules about these things. And so he asks to do the thing and I say, no, I don't need it. And he actually calls me out and says I'm being mean. That's the thing. People ask me, why don't you just say something? Why don't you ask these people to stop? And you just don't know like how people are going to react or what they're going to do. So I just kind of let them. Plus, it's more for them than it is for me. Really, it's not about me at all. It's about them feeling good about themselves. And I don't even know why, they picked me. I don't know. Just because I have this physical outward thing that they think they need to come in and save. I mean, did that guy go around the whole gym asking everybody if they might need him? Or the guy, and well, I'm sure maybe the guy in San Diego did that, who knows? The worst time happened. I mean, I guess like the biggest time. The most epic time happened in the most cliche way, a Walmart parking lot. My mother was there in front of my mother. They approached me, grabbed me to them. I mean, how dangerous is that? They start kissing my face. I don't know this person. And they're speaking to me in Spanish, which I don't understand. And so that's confusing and adds an element. And the whole parking lot is looking at us because it must have seemed like the craziest scene. Like, I think everyone could have read that the body language there was that I didn't want this happening, except for the person doing it to me. I just wish people would stop trying to pray for me.
Queens Storytellers Online. Rachael Abbott.
Hi, everyone. My name is Rachael Abbott. I use she, her pronouns, and I am 5'1". I have long brown hair and brown eyes, and part of my hair right now is really long and I have it tied up. I'm wearing a really cool shirt. It's maroon color, and it has a white leopard on it in the center with a crescent moon on the left side and pink and yellow flowers. It's a long sleeve shirt, and there's pink and yellow flowers along both sides of the shirt. But what you got to know about this white leopard is that he's growling or like howling at the moon. So that's what makes this shirt awesome. So academic trauma, have you heard of it? I didn't even know it was a thing until a friend named my experiences. And giving a name to my experiences makes me feel really powerful over them. Anyone can experience academic trauma. I just happen to be a low vision person who has had a lot. But thankfully, I am part of a low vision blind family, so they get it. All throughout my academic life, I have been the only low vision disabled student in class. And throughout my life in academia, I've had some really hurtful moments. And unfortunately, those moments in some way still impact me today. So I decided I'm going to go to community college and study music. Realistically, I understand I'm going to be behind, but I'm going to do this. And I have this really amazing piano teacher. In one lesson, I tell her that I'm feeling really overwhelmed because I'm having trouble keeping up in classes and I'm experiencing accommodation issues. She made a choice. She chose to find a friend to help me. And that changed my whole experience and helped me successfully obtain my associate's degree in music. And her friend is so giving. And she's so incredibly awesome because she spent countless hours tutoring me. And beyond that, she encouraged me, helped me learn my songs. She picked me up for classes and brought us sandwiches. And when the school wouldn't provide in-class accommodations, she came to class with me. So when I began experiencing intense discrimination from a music professor and the administration, my chorus professor, my piano teacher, and my tutor all stood by me. And they brought me strength and friendship and courage and growth. There were so many endearing moments. And all these endearing moments brought me to the best place ever, the provost office with a college attorney. How did I get here? Well, there was these great moments like the dean violating the grievance process of the college. my grievance process was shared with unrelated parties, and my medical information was shared. There was also pressuring me to drop a music class, and this really, really tender moment of equating accommodations with advantages. It was so beautiful. So I'm in the provost office with the college attorney. I didn't even know that the college attorney was going to be there, but I was so grateful that my tutor, my friend, was there to take notes. And I was really intimidated, but I drew from her strength, and I was not going to back down. I was going to fight. Because this was no longer about accommodation issues for completing a couple of assignments or about my grade. This was about dignity and respect for people with disabilities, me as a person. And I didn't want anyone else to go through what I have been through. I didn't want anyone else to be treated the way I had been treated. So this is about taking a stand and showing them that you cannot treat students with disabilities or any student this way. And, the meeting didn't resolve anything. My voice was suppressed, and I didn't get a thorough review of my case. But I wasn't going to let the college defeat me. I decided to be so wonderfully annoying and keep taking classes. And I took theater classes and had this beautiful moment of the disability office telling me that I was acting like an entitled disabled person because I wanted to participate in class activities. Oh, so sorry. Yay! I fought really hard and all the academic powers won, and all is right in the world. Praise be to academia. Academic trauma. It's a part of me, and it's also what makes me strong. And I'm an advocate for inclusion in the arts, and I'm a supporter, an encourager, and a voice for those who need help standing up for themselves. And I am here, and I continue to study in the creative arts because my supporters believed in me, and they chose with courage to take a stand for a student's rights and equitable treatment over their job. That's the power of caring. So here I am. This is me. I'm a disabled artist. And as one incredible disabled artist told me to always remember, I can't talk today, right? As one incredible artist told me to always remember and believe that I am enough and you are enough. So this is what I got to say to leave. Take that, academic trauma.
Queens Storytellers Online. Michelle Mantione.
Hi, I'm Michelle Mantione. I'm a short, white, female presenting person in rehearsal blocks. In a rehearsal studio, you might hear a piano behind me or some traffic outside in New York City. My body is a very athletic build. Sit here at Queens Theater, I work as an audio describer. During this workshop being held, I was invited to tell a story. Interestingly enough, many moons ago, I had first met Greg Mosgala storytelling. See, I'm a dancer. As I reach my crutch and frame my head with my crutch handle, my low strand crutch that I used to walk with, my arms are swaying. And I've learned choreography as a storytelling tool, lowering my crutch, passing by the camera as I do so out of frame. So Greg was my mentor in writing a story, bringing my crutch back up into frame, holding its cup. The story I was talking about was navigating as I swivel in my chair, New York City, rising from my chair. So often walking away from the camera in New York City, I can fall a lot, bracing myself on the chair, flipping my head up. And people like to be helpful, but sometimes it could be a hindrance. Toss my arm out to the side from my center of my chest, palm facing down. So you have to learn how to be assertive, one palm faces up, without being aggressive. And this advocacy of navigating access in New York was really important to me. So I started training in social media advocacy in another genre of film, using storytelling in the medium of film, both my palms facing one another, almost like an imaginary sandwich. During film, I thought it was important to include as many accessible tools using film to advocate for disability access, because we're always pushing, I bend a little, pushing palms, reaching towards the ceiling, that imaginary ceiling of access, and using advocacy, my palms stay above my head, to help others learn how to navigate, so we're not doing this alone. And how the medium, while training in the medium of film, I started learning audio description, my palms open in a field goalpost, perhaps playing American football. Now my head turns left and right. I use the training of audio description for the medium of film in telling a story, using a narrative of describing the visual elements of medium of film into the narrative of describing the physical elements. Palm pushes against the chair, as I am doing right now, while slowly dancing during my story. I pivot 3/4 palm, other palm onto the wall. This journey, as I rotate my body with one arm against the wall and one arm on the chair, took me from choreography, again, sweeps itself across the chair, to storytelling with words, a straight line with hand. And we're not stopping our access, palm facing the camera, signaling stop. We are fingers curling, weaving the skills from all the media. Pulls the chair backwards. I went from being a mentee with Greg Moscala to Greg's colleague at the Queens Theater during workshops. Did you know Greg, the theater professional, has also trained in dance? We all, as performers, use so many skills, both arms up, making a W with my arms, my crutch attached to one arm, to build our journeys. Elbows reach out wide, fingertips facing one another. I'm interested, palms touching, resting my arm against my crutch handle, where my journey is going to take me next.
Queens Storytellers Online, Shashank Sharma.
Hey, my name is Shashank Sharma. My pronouns are he, him, his. I'm standing in front of a light blue wall with white spots. I'm wearing a dark blue tank top with my sunglasses tucked in here next to my chest. And I have a full black beard and short jet black hair. How many of you like to interact with people? Make a connect with someone else? Remember the first time you made eye contact with your significant other? When things were bad, one look, even into a stranger's eyes, and you knew everything would be okay and you're not alone. For me, connecting with people has always been a challenge. I have these rare eye conditions, cone dystrophy, secondary nystagmus, and myopic astigmatism. Let me try and demonstrate what that means to you in English. So if I am, say, reading a book, for instance, this one is A Night to Remember, I'll bring it this close to my eyes in a dimly lit room with the curtains drawn. When I go outside, picture using a camera and zooming out and completely removing the focus. So there's like no detail in anything. Everything is blurred and foggy. When I go outside into sunlights and bright lights, it's all white. It's how I imagine entering heaven would look like. Anywho, I never saw myself as disabled or had any blind training or anything. I mean, I didn't even know how to use my walking cane for a very long time. Everybody around me would be forming these close bonds with each other, and I would struggle to do the same through school, university, and after that. And it's not like I was alone or anything, don't get me wrong. I was surrounded by people, but I just couldn't connect with them at a deeper level. It just made me feel so lost and alone, and I always thought there was something wrong with me. And I struggled to articulate this. It kind of kept on eating me from inside. Like the character of Rose says in my favorite film, Titanic, I was standing in this precipice with no one to pull me back, no one who cared or even noticed. And then, bam, the year that shall not be named hit, and we all went into a collective house arrest. It's like life was telling me, how do you like them apples, huh? Things got very, very dark. Early on in the pandemic, this casting director, Tess Joseph, had this monologue competition. So I came across this artist who completely blew me away with their choices. Later on, I also found them on an online music competition where they were doing like an acoustic segment. So I requested Say by John Mayer, and I have never heard such a heartfelt rendition of that song. Dare I say, I enjoyed it more than the original. Sorry, John, said what I needed to say. She flew out to New York after that, and we kept in touch. And she told me about this drama school she had trained at. And I happened to have known about this drama school and looked at it a couple of times over the past few years. And I thought, you know what, this time I'm going to apply. So in between like filming and taking acting classes in New York, she would Zoom with me at odd times. And she encouraged me, Shashank, rather than you becoming a character, which is what all my training up to this point had like taught me. She said, no, you make the character you. So she never judged me, and she broke down her own acting process with me, and she told me that, look, you need to stamp your own ideas into the characters you're playing because it's you who's playing them. It's not them playing you. So I took so much from that experience. Then one day before my 27th birthday, I got a call from Mumbai that you need to fly in here for an audition. And I just packed my bags and I just went. It was the most spontaneous thing I've ever done. This was also the first time I was traveling to a foreign Indian city on my own and arranging my own transport and like accommodation situation and everything. So Mumbai also happened to be Katie's hometown. After the audition, I gave her a ring and she agreed to meet me at short notice. I was only there for a few days. So the first time we met at this beautiful little cafe, and the first thing we spoke about when we met, she narrated her past life story to me about her being a survivor on the Titanic. She'd recently visited Ireland and went to the Titanic Museum, and she told me about all the signs she'd gotten her whole life. Titanic was her favorite film too. Now, there's something we both didn't know about each other before we met. So, as she was narrating this incredible story to me, I was just thinking how sweet and cool it is in equal parts for someone to share something so personal and close with someone they're just meeting for the first time. So, as we parted, Katie told me, Shashank, everything always happens for a reason. There's something my mom had told me my whole life. And I think now I get it because something I felt held me back my whole life also brought me to someone who inspired profound change within me. And look, you know what? If I can form a connection with a total stranger in the toughest of times, I can definitely do that in the rest of my life with everyone else. I mean, I'm not going to let my eyes hold me back forming bonds with people. It's as Jack says in Titanic, they're making it count.
This has been Queens Storytellers Online, Theater for All Edition, produced by Dominic D'Andrea, David Lawson, and Jay Rogers. Featured storytellers Sandre, Kellie McCoy, Rachael Abbott, Michelle Mantione, and Shashank Sharma. American Sign Language interpretation provided by Sign Nexus. Video production by Jay Rogers. Queens Theater at Home. Please consider making a tax-deductible donation at queenstheater.org.